Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Slingloff with Boston Roland here at NAMM 2018. I'm really excited to tell you about something called the GT-1000. The GT-1000 is an exciting new effects processor that we've come up with, which has 32-bit A to D and 96 kilohertz sample rate, both in and out and throughout the system. This is really powerful, right? We've got a new processing chip that we've been using on this guy, and between that and the algorithms that we've got from the 500 series pedal, the DD500, the RV500, the MD500, it's really, you know, a wonderful tool. Now, since we're Boss, I'm sure you expect us to have lots of effects in there, and we do, right? Most of the effects from algorithms from the 500 series, as I said, are in there. But the thing that makes this new and to really, like, you know, take advantage of this new processing power is something we called ARID, or Augmented Impulse Response Dynamics. We call it AIRD. And what is AIRD? Well, pay attention to the D in this word. ARD stands for dynamics. Dynamics are the thing that guitar players love, we feel. When we don't have it, we kind of whine a little bit, to be honest, right? We're on stage and everybody's like, you're too loud. It's like, it doesn't feel right. Well, guess what? This is meant to feel right, and that's what it really does. We first started doing that back in the, with the Waza amplifier, the Tube Logic story that we've told and used in Roland Blues Cube, Katana amplifiers. They really feel and cut through a band. But we had the advantage of having a physical system that we could work with. With a multi-effects processor, being able to do amp tones, you want to be able to plug this into anything you want, right? Whether it be an amplifier or the front of house or your DAW. So we've come up with AIRD technology, which takes and adds something that we're not getting in the typical IR response that you're getting from that's very common in the world today. IR stand for impulse response, and the typical way they work is they're not getting anything more than the frequency response and some decay time from the cabinet response. It's not doing what a real cabinet does. A real cabinet actually works a little bit forward and backwards. That backwards being, as it moves, its spring action is feeding back into the amplifier. So like that tone I was just playing a second ago. Let me play that for a second. You can probably feel it like a little thump, thump, thump. Hopefully through your speakers at home. I definitely feel it here in the room, right? So like a... Again, when I dig into it, you really feel it. And if I just snap on it a little bit. So it really has just a ton of feel and vibe right on my fingertips. I'm just listening to a small studio monitor here to try and be able to listen to you while we're doing this video. Right? When I get into the amps like we have in the other room, it's, you know, with big Waza power, it's really a fun experience. In addition to all that processing power and all the effects you can run over 5 delays. You have 4 parallel paths. You can route things in pretty much any routing order that you'd like to see. And in addition to that, you've got 4 outputs on it. It's got 1/4-inch outputs, XLR outputs, so you can feed it to multiple places at the same time. You can even do like a 7-cable mode instead of the typical 4-cable method, right? And when you do that, it's going to allow you to send separate amp tones to any source you like. You have 2 simultaneous amps, and you could do something, for example, like send the house a clean amp with delay and chorus on it, while you're sending your amp on stage a high gain amp and you know, something else, right? So it's really fun because the guitar player can have what they feel is comfortable, and the sound can be something totally different on stage if you needed to. Now, with all that processing power and editing, there's a really comprehensive display and ability to edit inside of this guy. Like if I hit this guy real quick, you can see all these chains, and right now I got 2 parallel paths, and one of them has a parallel path within the parallel path. I can simply move things around by scrolling over top of it, moving it to wherever I want. I can even move the path itself by just going on there, and now I put it on the other path. Now I'm going to put it in front of everybody. So really super easy to edit, and there's a great function in here which I love. Since you're looking over my shoulder, let me just kind of click on it real quick. Okay, a page over, and you see this thing where it says stomp box here? What that allows us to do is I can take that amp tone or any effect tone that I'd like inside the box, and it allows me to call them a stomp box. Once they're a stomp box, I can make any other preset have that same stomp box in it. So now, when you're in the middle of the gig, just like any other pedal board that you've used, if you lean down and turn a knob, you don't affect it on the one in front of you, you affect it on all presets that use that stomp box. So great for anybody who likes to change their delay time based on the sound of the room, or people when they show up for a gig and when they get there, the amplifier, you know, the sound man says turn down the bass a little bit. Well, instead of going through every single preset, they can just do it by one simple knob. So really a great function. Speaking of those effects, let's go to a preset that I have here and just play something that's a little bit on the wet side. Helps if I hit the button. And I got no sound. Why? There it is. Now, all that editing is fun and wonderful from this great display and screen and ready to go for you, but you know what? Today, we've designed the screen so that it can handle light, as I mentioned, and be on a good stage or under the sun. But what you can also do is you can edit it from your phone. So your phone is a great source to have everything on it and be ready to go. These things are really ready for professional players to go out on the road. They're small format. They're going to be coming to you in about 3 months. So here we are at NAMM 2018, and this is GT-1000.